YouTube, g'day mate, how are you? Got much on? Thanks so much again for clicking on the channel and checking out another video. Look, I'm going to talk a lot today. Today we're going to break down a really good friend of mine, Catman, aka Roman, or Roman aka Catman. He's got a really high kill solo game that I wanted to go through and highlight some of his really strong points and things that we can learn from the way he plays the game. So Roman's a 3.51 KD. He's got like 347 wins, something ridiculous, and like 7 kills per game as an average. So he really knows what he's doing. He's really great to play with in a squad and really interesting to watch from a solo perspective. So stick around. If you like this type of gameplay, type of video from me, please comment down below. And yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, click that subscribe button with bell notifications on, give me an early like, thumbs up always means a lot. So again, thanks so much for your ongoing support and enjoy the video. Okay, so Roman's chosen to drop downtown in this clip. He is listening to a video or watching a video in the background at the start here, so gets pounced by this guy and gets quite lucky at the start there because he was basically AFK. I think he was just thinking, I'm in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to land, just grab this bounty, and some guy lands on him. He's got his audio muted. You can see in the top here that he's got mute enabled. So gets really lucky. Obviously 3.5 KD, you don't get jumped up on, and especially with a pistol, and get dominated early game. So he did really well to recover there. So one thing I notice here is he gets, I'm going to mute the sound so we can concentrate here. He loots very quickly. I mean, I'm going to pause it here already. But the start of the game, loot as quickly as you can. Get the guns that you think are going to be best suited to you. You need an AR. You don't want to leave gaps in what you've got. So loot up quickly, play it up quickly, and loot with purpose is probably the key. That's my number one tip, or the first tip of this 10 tip video, is loot with purpose. And also know where you are. If you're in Dam, you probably want something close. I mean, something mid to long range. If you're in downtown, it's probably going to be closer engagements. So loot with purpose, number one. Number two is coming out very quickly. The truck is the new meta. I'm just going to pause it. The truck literally has 2600 damage or something ridiculous. You need to empty like 4 clips. It takes about, I think it's Jago did a video of this just today. It takes 20 or 25 seconds to kill or disable an armored vehicle like this, the Big Bertha. So not only does it give you incredible security, it also gives you incredible visibility. So you can see everything around you. You can pivot with controller or PC to see exactly what's around you. We've got audio back. Next one thing I notice is he focuses heavily on bounties early. They give you a lot of information early game. If you're a better player like Roman is and you're into a pushing game, then use that information to get quick kills at the start and get your money up, because the biggest thing is he needs to get a loadout. Get a loadout as quickly as you can. You can hear someone sniping above. I probably would have pushed with the cluster, the sound of the cluster, but I think he banged the door, so. Okay, got quite lucky here, if I'm honest. He did the right thing, and one big thing is, I always make this mistake, is I just assume that the guy's in the back right corner, so I would have probably run up there and been shot straight in the back. Roman slow peeks, he checks his right side, he slow peeks, he checks far left on the way up. He just missed that middle section when he sort of like jiggle peeked and then went back down. So he got lucky because the guy could have beamed him in the back of the head like very early. As soon as he started peeking, he could have been right there. But obviously the shotgun is still super OP up close, and that was because he made the right decision for the gun that he had out for the building. LMG, he would have got melted. So good quick second engagement, sorry. 2 kills already, it's quite early game. He's got plenty of money. So he's going to keep spending the money. I think that's probably the other thing. We'll get back to that. Good shots. I mean, they're just good shots. I think he hit the last bullet, and the last bullet killed the guy. So if you're going to take him well. Just be great like Roman, and you win those gunfights. Back in the truck, using it to his advantage, checking out what's going on. Goes to the buy. Smart UAV to see what's around him. And interestingly, he pops this here, which I thought was risky, because that guy's literally right there. But he gets quite lucky again, and I'll tell you why he got a bit lucky. Hospital roofs are really tricky. You kind of have to like side mount on those weird ledges, because if you don't, you vault it. This guy clearly went to overlook Roman and probably could have beamed him if he was a decent player. Got unlucky, vaulted it, pulled his shoot way too early because he panicked, and fell to his death, or to Roman's XR4 or whatever it's called, XM4. Okay, gets his loadout. Looks like a FFAR with a sight, with a Ember laser, which is a bit of a random build, and Kar98K. Something he does really well, and brings me to point number 2, is get as much information as you can, and always have some point of cover. So he uses the truck incredibly well throughout this game and all of his games. Like I've said before, you use it to get as much information as you can. You get this amazing third-party view as opposed to first person when you're in out of a vehicle. So you get this third-person view. You get to scan your environment. And he already saw on the UAV there was one guy at the top and one guy above on this other building. So he uses the truck, like I said, so well to create cover. And watch how he plays it here. Good shots. Guy at the top's peeking as well. You can sort of see him lining him up. Keeps moving. Another good shot. Sometimes you just got to know when to run away as well, and I think Roman most of the time does that very well. Obviously being a good player, he takes his shots where he can, but sometimes you got to know when the position's not great. Good shots. Okay, so some errors were made here, and I'm going to quickly jump back to where I think this sort of fell apart, and a bit contradictory to what I was just saying, like Roman keeps cover really well, and in this instance, a lot of the time he will hit shots like this. He'll hit his shot, first time the guy's dead, game over, another kill on the count. But in this instance, I feel like he gets a little bit ego chow in this section, and leaves his truck, and I'll break it down. So warning 1 for me is that guy hits a great shot on the truck. I've already said that it's like quite hard to hit someone in a truck. You have a very narrow window of opportunity to actually land a shot like that. He knocks off half his plates. So I probably would have maybe swung around a little bit further and created that cover barrier like he did before. But instead, he kind of lets it go, and the truck ends up quite far behind him. You'll see here. So misses his shot. And now he's kind of in no man's land. So quickly goes to plate, which is clever. But he's got one little tree to protect him. Kind of almost like half his shoulders are exposed. So the guy could have probably hit another shot on him through the sequence. But plays the cover well, but he's a bit limited. From that point, that guy's got great cover. He's in a window. This glint is all you can see. You can't see his body, so he's at a bit of a disadvantage. Plus there's a guy looking down at him. So ego challenge, might have hit it normally. just gets done, unfortunately. Ground loot, can't own out K, so again unlucky.
We're in the Gulag now. Fight to earn redeployment.
Gulag's always tricky. There's some great videos out there about tips and tricks in the Gulag, worth watching. And the Gulag shifted again. It's different meta at the moment. Cincy shots, obviously, he's a great player, so I don't think he missed a headshot in that scene, which is pretty good. Flying back in, obviously wants his loot, as we all do, but I noticed that guy had a floor loot, car 98k. Roman may not have at the time, so likelihood of him not going and getting his guns is quite rare. But lands back in, checks it out. Yeah, so one thing I'll quickly point out is, this is my third tip, I think, is try not to overmark areas. I think we do it a lot in quads and trios and duos, but in solos there's not as big a need to mark because you're not marking for anyone else. So he marks where he wants to go, I think, for his distance, but you will notice he keeps checking his tack map to see if that car's gone on. I think he's using that truck as an indication or a quick get out, because I think if someone takes that truck and he lands in the middle of a field, he's no cover. So he wants his guns, but he doesn't want to die doing it. And you'll see he doesn't overmark it. And by not marking the truck, it also lets him see what's around that area. So rather than marking the truck, and it probably would have given him an indication of whether that got taken or not, he doesn't mark the truck because it normally puts quite a big truck blob on the map. Then he wouldn't have been able to get any information on the flight in. So try not to overmark things. Quickly grabs his stuff. Wants to get a loadout, obviously. Sees 3. Uses the truck to check his surroundings. And as cover. So he knows that guy's probably not pushed over the hill yet. Gets ghost, interestingly. So yeah, use the truck for great cover again. I think that's really clever. So yeah. This guy's in a bit of a dodgy position. Actually forgot to mention that Roman, in that last, when he got his loadout, he got restock. So you'll see from now on, he'll actually quite heavily use his tactical grenades, his grenades in general. Gets a proper AR off the ground as well, which obviously you want to in any opportunity. Get a proper like loadout weapon, so picks up an FFAR, and stopping power glitch is a pain in the butt, so you can see him struggle with the stopping power a little bit there. Gets shot again. Good shot, good follow-up shot. And didn't push up, which I thought he would. Here's another grenade. And gets his kill taken by a guy that followed up. So I think he had better awareness than I have, even watching this, and saw that guy push over the hill. The guy was downed. He obviously had self-res, so he's self-resing. The guys come, wait for him to self-res, stolen Roman's kill, and then almost taken Roman out in the process. So I think he didn't push right up the hill with the truck because he must have seen that other guy. Unlucky he had a kill stolen, but got his gun back. So I don't know if you noticed, he picked his FFAR back up, and he's got plenty of money. 7 kills. Like, we're only in second zone, so really good start. Again, uses the truck to block him from getting shot. And an important thing, I'm just going to pause it. Roman spends his bread. That's point number 4. Point number 5, spend your bread. If you've got the money, spend it. You're not going to go and buy a house. You don't need to save for a deposit in the game. Like, go and spend the money. Gets a self-revive. Knows that he's been to the Gulag, so you need to protect yourself. You get one shot to the head and you're dead. The game's over. So it's on a decent game, 7 kills. Gulag already is not ideal, but it is what it is. Spend his money. Gets a UAV, pops a UAV, buys a UAV, self-res, back in the truck. Off he goes. Still searching, using that truck view. Sees a guy in the window. Somehow. Using his tacticals, like I said. Pops his deady.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
And that's just a good gunfight. I mean, if you don't know that jump spot, you need to go and quickly reverse this video, rewind this video, and watch that again, because that jump spot's crucial. If you haven't already, Iceman Isaac has about 4 or 3 movement videos about how to jump in certain spots, how to get on rooftops that you wouldn't have thought, like without going through a choke point. That set of stairs is a massive choke point. So this building's quite hard to defend. There's a lot of ways in. Something for anyone who sort of camps a little bit, just be aware that this building's not the best one to try and hold down. So it has great visibility, but visibility sacrifices entry points. So uses the grenades incredibly well. Pops the dead silence, jumps through the window, dominates the guy with the shots. The guy had no chance, let's be honest. Okay, 8 kills. 5 tips down. Why not have a shot? Still holds UAV. Gets a bit stuck. And off he goes, back on the hunt. Spots the guy. I mean, you can't say much. Okay, quickly. One thing he does really well, and I said that earlier, that he uses grenades and tacticals really well. He hits a great snipe on this guy. Uses the truck as cover, like I said. Hits a great shot on him. Headshot, one shot down. Guy's got self-res. Knows in that moment that he's not going to make it there before this guy self-revives. So the risk is he's on a head glitch. He's rushing towards him full sprint. This guy self-res either runs in the door and holds the angle, and then you have to basically reset the gunfight, or beams him on the way through. So use his grenade. When you're downed, it's hard to get the thirst, but as he gets res, he reses himself. He gets an instant kill. Really clever way of using your tacticals. And there's bodies for days here, and that guy had a bag, so I'm guessing he was the one who popped the advanced UAV. Not in cover, misses his shot, and beams this guy. Don't know what language you speak, but it's okay. Guy hits a great shot, and Roman's in trouble. It's all about how you recover. Again, was really in a bad position there. The guy overcooked his grenade throw just a little bit, so he almost did the exact same thing to Roman as he did before to that other guy. Slides straight into cover, doesn't worry about healing, but quickly throws his tactical. And heartbeat is super strong, but restock is so powerful in these situations, and comes out on top just better. You know? What can you do? The guy played it quite well, I think, as well as he probably could have. He just missed that grenade throw. Okay, so back in the truck. Truck's a bit weak now. And that grenade probably didn't help. Checks that guy's loot. And I think this is where it gets a little bit interesting. This is where you need to start planning your route And that's my 6th point, is plan your journey, plan your route, plan the 3rd zone is when you really need to start to plan where you're gonna go, because you get an idea of where the circle's gonna end. So spending his money.
UAV entering the AO.
11 kills, crept up very quickly. So 11 kills, 20 grand. And Graham is starting to do some planning for end circle, so decides to, yeah, pop an advanced and spend the money that he's got. I mean, that's key. You'll see here, I think he opens his tac map and starts to plan his route into the zone. So now you can see that this is a dam finish. It looks like a dam finish. It's there or maybe over airport, but unlikely it's going to pull that way after pulling all the way across the map. So he's going to start planning where he's going to go and where he can get kills on the way through there. So 11 kills already. He's starting to plan. You can either go up high or around the bottom here. So we'll see where it goes. Good luck, bro. Okay, I'm just going to pause it again really quickly here. So for those of you who still quite understand how to read your tac map, also if you haven't already, please put your tac map to square. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like the round tac map, you lose, I think, 20% additional in all these areas. So go to square immediately. It's in your settings. The dot here, if there's an arrow above the dot, it means that they're of an elevation above your level. It's one floor or more, up a hill. That is a clear indication of what level they are on. Arrow above, they're above you. If there's an arrow below the red dot, so if there's an arrow below here, they're below your elevation. If there's no arrow, then they're on your level. So if you haven't quite got that, that's a quick breakdown. Sees this guy's up on the mezzanine floor. Let's see how he attacks. Nice. Guy hit a few good shots, but Roman had all the information. The other guy probably thought that he may have come through that other door because of the way that he threw the truck. So he did well to even get a few shots on him there, to be honest. More UAVs. Using the car as cover constantly. New vehicle because the truck was weak. 12 kills, like really getting up there. It's coming across. Damn on the higher rotation.
Wait, what?
Got quite lucky there, I think. It's a perfect stun or punch. Back in the car, another kill. He did well. That guy was in a weird spot. So he's in the car. Spots a guy in the window.
What the fuck?
Okay. So I think a few calamity of errors happened here, and I think he did really well to keep his head. The game massively glitched just as he gets inside the building. So he does really well, spots the guy, uses his tacticals really well, gets the grenades in the window, it forces the guy down the stairs. Game glitches out, big time. Throws a stun in panic, or the flash.
What the fuck?
Gets flashed to shit, but immediately starts healing. This is a quick tip for you guys. If you haven't already, and if you're on PC, then great. Go into your settings and adjust this now. Apply all plates is a really cool thing. It takes a little bit to get used to, but it can be cancelled. Once you start doing it, you can cancel it quite easily. You just fire or whatever. So he quickly starts plating, and having apply all means that he can keep running. He pushes it once and just keeps running and moving and utilizing his movement. On PlayStation, you can turn this on. You just need to connect any old keyboard or mouse into your PlayStation, and those settings will become available. So worth checking out if you haven't already, and seeing if you can get used to it. But keeps plating and plates immediately. I think that's a real crucial success in this instance. And then does really well here in this situation. So he doesn't over peak this section here, which is another crucial thing. So I'm going to go play this forward again. Flashed to shit. Plates. Gets the cover. Jiggle peaks. Hard peaks the other side. Uses peaks' advantage to his advantage. And fries a guy. Hits great shots. If he didn't replate those 2 plates, he was dead. It was all over. So incredible save there from a really weird, glitchy moment that probably could have cost him the game. Working all his angles. Gets another shot off. Gets really unlucky there with those shots. He could have definitely got that kill. Don't know where this guy came from. He must have come back from Gulag and picked his guns up. Great shot.
Locked on target. Fire.
Don't know if I would use my airstrike here, but really clever. Gets the kill. I mean, great gameplay. That guy could have probably run across the street because it came in from the right angle. He dominated him, so really good use of the airstrike there. I knew that either way, that guy was either going to get forced down the hill, or he was going to have to run into open ground, and he probably would have got him again. So, good play. Okay, so that guy got killed by the guy in the tunnel. He knew that guy was there, and then didn't rush down to try and get the finish or anything. Like, kept high ground advantage, and got him. I think the only reason he jumped down was to get ammo in this situation. Also, another great little jump spot. If you guys don't know that one, again, watch one of Iceman Isaac's videos. I'll actually link that in the video if I can work out how to do it. Otherwise, it'll be in the description below. So, yeah. He does a great job. Doesn't assume that anyone hasn't not pushed back up the hill. I don't know if the Gulag had closed, but there's always an opportunity that someone could have pushed up late, gas play, jump spot, gas play. So it does a really good job of point 8, patience is key. So, does a great job. Okay, so there's 3 guys left. Keyboard sounds like he's typing an essay. Still got plenty of cover. Like, he can't be shot from any other angle. Downs the guy. Gets the finish. 17 kills. Guys in the Bertha. It's a great couple of shots. Downs one. Downs another. Final guy. Oh. I mean, what can you do? He had high advantage, so height advantage. Yeah, I mean, great game. I think he had 19 kills, which is insane. Clutches up for the win. I hope that some of those tips have kind of helped throughout. But yeah, I mean, great aim. The last tip, which I have, tip 10, is just be better. You know, like this bloke is 3.5 KD, so.
Nice hack, dude. Wall, no recoil. Nice.
No recoil.
That's how you control it.
I mean, the guy just accused him of hacking. So, I mean, those last few kills were insane. He beams that guy from the top of the hill with for the last few shots that was the win. Hits the guy after the self-res with a grenade. But that's just great gameplay just there. A lot of us I know I probably would have like dove down and tried to get the kill, and he remained patient, kept his ground, kept his high ground, knew he had the advantage, knew he could beam those guys, knew they both were weak, so did an incredible job. So yeah, tip 10, be better. If you got a 3.5 KD, know that you're better than the people that you're playing against. And I think that's one other thing, like if you play with fear, then other people are going to have an advantage over you. So Roman, like that time, he got beamed in the end out of that truck early game. He thought he was going to kill that guy. He was like, I'm going to kill this guy, and always goes for those tricky shots. So really amazing game. Well done, Roman. Always a pleasure watching you play. I mean, half the time I play with Roman, I just want to die so I can spectate how he plays. So hopefully you've learned something from this video. The 10 tips, I have written them down, and I'll probably list them here at the end. So loot with purpose, tip number 1. Trucks are the new meta, so get in a big bertha wherever you can, and use that truck to your advantage wherever you can. Get as much information as possible, tip number 3. So use that 360 view, that third person view from the truck to get as much information as you can, and don't oversell where you're peeking and things. Avoid marking vehicles and things where possible. If you're in solos, then try and avoid that. Don't also in like quads and stuff, don't mark the most wanted that's over the other side of the map. It just blocks your view. Plan your rotations in around the third zone. So yeah, try and sort that out. Third zone, start planning where you're going to move. Spend your bread, spend your money wherever you can. Patience is king. Don't push if you don't have to. There's a time to push and there's a time to not. And in the final sort of zones, patience is definitely king. Position. Roman never really puts himself out of position, and when he does, he knows he's got that other guy beat. So maintain your position always. Armor up where you can. Turn on that automatic plate option because it's a great thing to get used to using, and once you're used to it, it's OP. And just be better. Practice what you do. I mean, I watch too much YouTube. We both do. He's a lot better than I am, but these kind of videos hopefully help you. If you enjoy this type of video, put it down in the comments. I know it's been a lot longer. I'm going to try and segment this video up. So yeah, put down in the comments if this is the kind of content you like to see. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for your support. Thanks so much.